assembled together, and this is a premiere, and it's a premiere on three things. First of all, you hear it, Digital Echo podcast will be in English due to my amazing guest. Second, what you also see is we are not doing that remotely. We're doing it, here in that beautiful place. We will tell you later what that place is. And third, it's the first time that we have a sound branding of Eternal Echo, because yesterday I got all of that delivered by Department of Noise. So 3 premieres at once, and I'm really happy to welcome here Zahra Eram.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye-bye,
so great. So great to have you here. Zahra, so there's a reason why I wanted to do this Eternal Echo podcast here in your place. Maybe you want to tell the audience what it is.
Yeah. So we're here in Zurich, Switzerland. We're in the Eram Clinic, and Eram Clinic stands for dentistry, medical aesthetic, and well-being. And as you can see, this is not your average, let's say, clinic. And we're actually sitting in one of our waiting rooms.
This is amazing. So when I came the first time here, I was completely blown away, because the first time I was here, I expected something what I would usually see when I go to a dental clinic, right? So you have those wide sterile waiting rooms or something that is not like that. And then I came here and it felt like in a 5-star hotel. So, but this is not only that room, it's the whole clinic. So the entrance, there is art there, even the restrooms, they look like, I have never felt, the restroom is as big as my living room. So it's, how did you come up with that?
I think, look, it's also reflecting the personality of myself and also my husband, which is a co-founder of this place. We always wanted to stand out, and we always wanted to do something that our patients can reflect to and reflects themselves and reflects this what we stand for. So and this for us, this starts with the concept of, as you do one thing, you do everything. So the journey with us has to start already from outside of the clinic, just by looking at it, and when you come in as well. So the whole experience for us is the moment you're in contact with anything that has to do with us as a clinic, has to reflect this what we stand for. And that's why it's not only when you come to the treatment room, but also whether you are at the reception, or as you say, we have art, actually one of 8 pieces in the world that's existing from this art. And also the whole journey. I'm happy to have you as part of the clinic. Definitely, you are with us also for such a long time. So it's a growth. It's definitely a growth that we did together with our patients, and by listening also to our patients, by identifying who is it that we want to have as patients, and what do we stand for as a concept and as co-owner. And that's why it reflects, the clinic reflects this, what we stand for.
You come here and you feel welcomed, right? So the customer experience is totally different than you would usually expect when you go to a medical institution.
Yeah.
Right. So what does customer experience mean to you?
I think whether it's also like who you are, because you again, it's very important for me to emphasize that what we stand for is also who we are. So whether you are coming to my home or you're coming to the clinic, I think I don't see it as patients coming. I see it more as guests coming, and I feel like you have to welcome them. You have to make them feel they're part of here, that the togetherness. So also the team and every one of us, we like to interact with our patient. We want to keep it this exclusivity of that the patients don't feel like, okay, I'm number 67, which is sitting here now at 3 o'clock, but we like to interact and we like to make the patients feel that they're part of this clinic. So a lot of, you will see, inclusive you also, we interact with our patients. And this, I think, is part of the journey that, the feeling that we give out as well.
Yeah, that's one of the things that also surprised me when I was there a couple of years ago. No matter which kind of treatment, if you were around, you came in and you said hello.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So that was also something which you usually don't have, that the owner or the founder is welcoming you.
I think this is so crucial. I think, and this will never change. This is something that we really are fond about. That's who we are, and that's what we stand for, whether it's myself or it's my husband you have met as well, or any of the other doctors. You can have an appointment for something else, but you can be sure that you will be greeted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, and you just gave me the bridge because you said now a couple of times who we are.
Yes.
And as Eternal Echo is about the fact, who are you?
Yeah.
I'd love to switch the topic from the clinic to you, Zahra. So who are you?
Who am I? I think this is such a big question, but I think at the end of the day, I'm a person who is not afraid of doing the things that most people run away from. I'm definitely a person that is real. I'm honest, and I think nowadays people really feel that because I think the more real you are, the crowd also that you want to have around you, they're gonna attach to you. So who am I? I'm a real person, and I'm a person that lives my life in faith. So yeah, I believe definitely in God, and I have God with me every single day in everything what I do. And I'm definitely a person that gets things done. That's for sure.
So how did that start?
How did that start? Yeah, if everybody, life hits you, and I think, you and I, we have such a good conversations with each other as well. I think with time, you build yourself into this person that makes you at the end complete. And as everybody else in this world, and there is nobody existing that has it all in this pink sky, as I call it. So it started with me realizing that this family I grew up with, which was all about kindness, which was all about giving, which was all about, love and goodness. I tell you what, the real life is definitely not like that. Real life punches you in the face, or places where you almost can't breathe. And I actually learned that even those bad, circumstances, you can really choose how you want to look at it and shape it into that person that you want to be. So it started when I got out into the real life and realized that people that are close to you are going to show you their real faces, and people that you're expecting things from are going to show you their real faces as well. And that's how it started. That's how it started for me, going through these challenges.
So, I mean, you never, since how long, how many years do you have now this clinic?
I mean, we're about almost 10 years now. So,
and here in that building 2 years?
No, we started in another place. We didn't do the traditional way by taking over an existing clinic, which is usually how the things are done. It was a former gallery that we took over. So we wanted really to inject our personality and DNA in what we want to develop from scratch. And this place that we have now is actually, it used to be for over 30 years, the second biggest Credit Suisse on Zurich. So we literally turned a bank into a clinic, so yeah.
So I assume when you start such a clinic like that, there must be many obstacles on the way, or things that actually told you, oh, that's too big for you, or something where you
Yes.
So what kept you going? So what were your internal motivation, or how did you overcome that? Also probably with the help of your partner, or how you two as a couple managed through those obstacles?
Yeah. Great questions, by the way. I mean, there are different answers here. So if you allow me, I'd like to split them up.
Yeah.
I think in the beginning, when you start, I was an employee for over 12 years, and I was working for one of the biggest dental chains. And when you start that phase of saying, you know what, I have my own vision and I really believe in this vision, and I think that this is something that can solve a lot of problems, which in this area in this field is not existing. Because when you do something new, because when you stand out, it is also to be expected that there are going to be a lot of obstacles. There can be people, there can be so many things coming in your way. I think what kept me going is, as I said, I have a very strong mentality, very, very strong. And if I set myself in to do something, now was I hurt on the way? Definitely. I will get back to that as well. But I keep my eyes on the ball. I know what I'm doing. And I truly believe that what it is that we're doing, we're going to get it done. Now, does everybody understand what we're going to do? No, there are going to be people, they're going to talk you out of it. They're going to speak to you and try to make you insecure. They're going to try to put obstacles in front of you, literally. But at the end of the day, if you're within yourself that confident, that zero option of plan B, and you stick to this, what you're doing, it's going to work. It's going to work. And the right people who understand what you're doing, they're going to follow you and they're going to stay with you. Mm-hmm. But as you said, obstacles definitely came there. And some of them were, for me, still to this day, very, very emotional. And in the beginning, it took me really time to grasp it, because it was people that was very close to me that I have done so much for in the last years, both on a personal and on a business level. And to see these people so close to you, putting obstacles, literally obstacles in front of you. And this was something on an emotional, it was terrifying place to be emotionally during that time. But I went through it because, as I said, it's also how I look at things, Mike. I think you can't go through life thinking that nothing is ever going to happen to you. I just hate you, whether you're up, whether you're down, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you're beautiful, whether you're ugly, it doesn't matter. Life is going to hit you. But how you respond to that, that is something I think you as a person, you can definitely decide how you respond to it. So when those things happen and how did I get through it, I chose those episodes, I chose those people not to have that much value in my decision and in my plan and vision to have an influence of me going ahead. That's how I went through it. And with God, as I said, I live with God.
Thanks for sharing. So how I assume that you haven't been born so confident.
Yeah.
So how were you raised, or what created that confidence?
Yeah. I mean, people who know me know that I'm a master in Taekwondo, so I've black belt in Taekwondo.
Whoa!
So I'm definitely I've been practicing Taekwondo since I'm 11 years old, and it takes a lot of discipline to master that. So on an early age, I was already doing things which is out of the extraordinary, and I'm a professional car racer as well. So I do put myself in situations that needs a lot of focus, needs a lot of discipline, and there is no way when you're racing for you to have any doubts or to second thoughts. You need to be so self-confident. You need to know exactly what you're doing because you don't have a second to think when you're driving that fast, and this gives you self-confidence. But if I'm going to be honest with you, what really gave me self-confidence was everything I've said that I wanted to do, or if I say I want to do something, small or big, I get it done. And when I get it done, afterwards, it gives me such a booster because it tells me myself, I'm my biggest competition to myself, that I'm a person that gets things done when I say it gets done. That's where my confidence came.
You just said you are your biggest competition.
Yeah.
And that is something that triggers a question in me, which I also can very much relate to.
Yeah.
Why is that the case? Had that something to do with your personal experience as a child that you had to prove yourself?
Yeah. Very deep questions. I like it. I don't know if it's about proving myself. It might sound arrogant what I'm going to say now. I know I have a lot of potential. I know I'm still not where I want to be. I have so much, if other people look at me or they look at what we have and everything, and they're like, why are you still working so much? Why are you still doing this? I'm not comparing myself to people in the same, let's say, business as myself or in the same growth as myself. I know I have so much more potential. I know that I'm still a little ant to where I want to be. So for me, my biggest competition is that I know that I can do much, much more than where I am. So this gives me motivation. Of course, also growing up, I've God bless my father, a very, very strong character, very, very. I also say he was a federal judge, so he was, the kind of person who never gave up, was really from both as a person, but also in his job, a very, very dominant. So he never really let us have the possibility of saying, I'm not enough, or you can't do this. So every time we wanted to do something, he was like, of course you can do it. You're going to do even better than that, And these are things that is, you grow up with this. You grow up and these are voices that you have within yourself that keeps pushing you throughout your life. And that's what it has done to me. So I am my biggest competition. I know what I'm capable of. And I know what I have still a lot which I want to reach and still a lot what I want to do. And I'm going to do it because I know I have this potential. So it's me against myself. That's how I see the competition, how I see things.
What are top 3 things that you still want to do?
Top 3 things is I'm going to make sure everybody who is with me on this journey, that they're going to become the best versions of themselves, not only from a personality point of view. I need to see also that their life is getting better by being on this journey with us. This is something which I still need to reach, And number 2 is, you're going to laugh when I tell you this, but I actually tried to get my helicopter license, and I went to California, Torrance, and I started, doing my helicopter license there, but I never finished it. And I realized also you need your mountain license when you get that far. So that's definitely on my bucket list, which I want to reach. And my third, I think my third is I want to get to that far that when I look at myself and I look back, I can say that I impacted a lot of people in a good way, when they interacted with me. Mm-hmm. That can be a role.
That's beautiful. So that brings me to a topic I actually wanted to ask you also. I mean, you have your own company. You have employees. What kind of leader are you? You already mentioned a couple of things that you want to make your people on your journey grow.
Yes.
So what kind of culture do you have or live here for letting people grow?
Yeah, I think I do like spiritual leadership because I like to talk about God. I like to live with God, and I use that also in my leadership, in how I speak to my team, and I lead with gratitude. I never forget to stay grounded, to stay with my team. But I think if you ask anybody who has ever worked with me or is working with me, I like to lead from the front. I like to be next to the team. I like to, I'm not afraid to go ahead and do the things, as I said in the beginning, which nobody wants to do that first and then take my team with me. I need for me to see that my team is growing, as I said, both on a personal level and also in their lives. I need to see that they're growing, and this falls down on me, of course, themselves as well. You know, I had to part ways with some employees simply because of that. So what kind of leader am I? I lead with the faith of God, and I lead in a way that I'm going to push you. I will see potentials in you that you don't see yourself, and I will make you see them. So I'm going to put you in situations where you have no choice but to execute on that high level, and you're going to come out with more self-confidence and believe more in yourself.
So what kind of situations where do you put your people in to actually help them to overcome those barriers?
I think in our field, Mike, you know, everything is so programmed. You know, I'm not speaking just about the medical things. Obviously, you know, these are set, but from your own potential. And I think I'm speaking when I talk about my leadership now, I'm speaking more on a personal level. So I see very quick in a person where this person still has potential to grow, but didn't have the possibility. And this goes back to because I was an employee myself. I could have done so much more, but I was never given the chance. Every time I basically opened my mouth, I had a bunch of people shutting me down because I needed to know my place. You're a woman. Don't speak. You don't have the education. You don't have this. You do that. Just stick to this, what you're doing good, and be quiet. And I took this into my leadership. Every person which works together with me has their saying. Definitely. And if I see that they have this potential of growing, I mean, they will grow. They will have the possibility to grow. And again, I go back to becoming the best and better version of themselves. Definitely. So I put them in situations. Where they have to execute on a level that afterwards they're going to say, did I just do that? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And you're going to do it even more and more. So I put them in situations in order for them to be able to see their own potential and to grow with that.
And how do you deal with mistakes that might happen in such situations?
Yeah. I look at it. You know, everybody does mistakes. I've done mistakes. I'm still doing mistakes, and I will never stop doing mistakes. But I think you take the situation and you look at, is it a one-timer or is it something that keeps continuing? And I don't have space for mistakes. It doesn't work with me. So I will sit with you. I will we'll talk about this mistake, and I'm expecting you then also to learn from it and then not do it again, you know. But if you keep doing it, it doesn't make you a bad person. It just means you and I were not on the same path. So I'm not that good to accepting mistakes because, you know.
I mean, it's also to do with how much you put on yourself.
Yes.
Right? I mean, if you look at such a place, you are a perfectionist.
Yes.
Totally.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And, so this is why I want to ask, because I think for people who are perfectionists, they had to overcome their own struggles to end up in the situation where they are now.
Yeah.
Now also being a leader for others, wanting to empower them to grow.
Yeah.
I think mistakes are the biggest thing that keeps jealousy, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's Mike, it's also I am like this. I am what you see. This is me. There is nothing else. I am like this on a personal level, and I'm like this in my job. That is who I am, and I'm a 100% person. You know, like if I'm your friend, I'm your friend, and I'm 100% your friend. Not only in good times, I'm with you in bad times. I'm 100%. Like this, I'm also in my work. And if you wanna be with a person like this, perfection is something that is a mentality, is who you stand for. So if nothing should get by at work or in the private, if it's not there where you want it to be, you don't accept this. Remember what I said in the beginning, and this is something I literally every day live by. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you are okay with serving something that is like that, then there are other things that you're gonna be okay with serving things like that. But if you serve already the small things, how it's supposed to be served, attention to the small details, and you keep it straight, you will do this in every single thing.
Yes. Yeah. Totally agree. So with your experience and what you learned, how, for people who are listening to that, what are advices that you could give to people with your experience on how to overcome struggles or something like that?
Yeah. I think you have to really look at the people around you. This is crucial, and it shouldn't be underestimated, whether it's family or it's your friends. I think as you grow in life, especially if you want to, if you have a vision and you want to become an entrepreneur and do a business, you have to be very, very protective of your energy and who you speak to. Always say to yourself, what am I gonna get by speaking to that person? Mm-hmm. Because if that person is not at a stage of life where you want to be,
they just drain you.
They drain you, and they're gonna give you advice from their mindset. So if I want to do something which is way big, which is completely out of what an average person could think of, and it can be your cousin, it can be your brother, it can be your mother even, they're going to speak from a point of goodness and from a good heart if it's family, but they're going to speak to you from their mindset. So be careful who you are speaking to, especially if it's family, if it's somebody that you respect and you take their advice, because that person is going to give you advice from where she or he is. And get rid of people that add negativity in your life. Get rid of them. Do not just block it out. I wish somebody would have told me this years ago, because I could have saved so much headache. I could have saved so much money. I could have saved so much if somebody would have told me, get rid of negative people.
Yeah.
So my advice is, if you truly believe in the idea that you have, if you truly believe what you want to do, don't speak about your vision to people who can't add value to it. Don't.
That's really important. Yes, that's really important.
Yeah.
And even if you like to tell them that because it makes you feel good, don't do, because it will just suck your energy, because they will tell you, hi, no, that's difficult. And Do you really think you can do that?
Yeah.
It's all about energy, right? And you attract what you allow in.
Yes. That's absolutely true.
I think this is also probably what you mentioned. The people you surround yourself with should be, on one hand, positive people.
Yes.
But on the other hand, people who have made similar experiences so that you can learn from each other.
Yes.
And they give you advice that you need.
Exactly.
And not advice that... And it can also be critical, but it's fun.
And it's real. It's real. You need real people. But what is, as I also may add to it, I think with me, what I learned is that in the beginning, I was always looking for motivation from others. I was listening to this person. I was listening to that person. Kind of, always waiting for a clap on the shoulder. Oh, yeah, that's very good what you're doing. Keep doing it. I was always looking for a voice outside to kind of keep me going and like being motivated. But I'm at that stage since a long time, and this is, I think, an advice I really want to pass on is you need to be your own biggest motivator, regardless of who. It's you against you. It's your vision. You have to perform. You have to be your biggest motivator. You have to keep your confidence. Stick to this. Stick to your core values. Stick to this, what you want to do. Stay humble. A lot of people, as soon as they start getting a little bit, they change their personality. Stay humble. You're not better than anybody else. You still have a long way to go. Yes, you succeeded in many things, but you still have a long way to go. Stay humble. Give to the people around you. Give. This mentality of, I will give when I know what is in it for me. That is a mentality that is more and more these days. Mm-hmm. Get rid of that mentality. Get rid of it, whether in your personal life or in business. Rather than seeking, what do I get from you? Turn it around. Say, what can I do? How can I add value? Start having this mentality of giving. And I promise you, like literally, I promise you, things are going to happen to you. Good things. People are going to come in your life. You won't even have the capacity of thinking about you ever interacting with those kind of people. So by giving, I truly believe it comes back to you in ways so unexpected in so many good ways. Change your mentality of giving. Give before you ask, what is in it for me?
Yeah.
Give, it will come to you.
Totally, fully agree. Thanks, Zahra. That's I really appreciate that quick conversation about you, because it helps also to see the person behind that dream or that little castle that you built here. So that's awesome. Maybe a last thing. So what is that? It's also something that I wouldn't expect at the dental clinic, but
I mean, yeah, I put one of my favorite series. It's called Suits, and it's on Netflix. I just love it because every episode is about solving problems and something happening, and I just love it, So I don't have much time to watch TV, but if I do, it's something that I can learn from it. So yeah. We have TV in the waiting room. Everything is not your regular, let's say, visit to a clinic. But Mike, before you end this, I want to thank you also for giving me this opportunity on a platform to speak. And I want one day to interview you, because you have such an amazing story that I feel like it needs to come out. You have gone through so many things, and it has turned into, these interactions that I have with your energy is so zen. It's so good. And I would love if one day you could share also about your experience.
Yeah, I also did a lot of those things in another podcast, Bold and Bold, that I had with another coach from the UK. And we're doing this in English. They are shared a lot, certainly we can do that. I really love speaking to you, and similar like what you said. So you surround yourself with people who have a similar mindset, and just do.
Just do, right?
Just do. Don't beat anything else, and don't listen to any other people who try to bring you down or anything. And just create that space where you are surrounded with good energy.
That's it. That's it.
You don't need more, and then you can flourish. And I hate that one of the cameras died, because that was one of the things I told my wife. I just drove my wife to Enge when I came to you, and I told her, by the way, I did a mistake. I charged all the batteries, I put everything in, and that one I didn't plug in. So,
I think the message, as long as the message gets out, the voice, the microphones are working. Exactly. I think that is the most important.
So is there anything else that you would like to say to, if there are now people in around Zurich, you guys, you need to come here, make an appointment at the Eram Clinic. I mean, this is a clinic. I say it again, it's your living room somehow, or your
It is.
You need to do this. It's one of the best customer experiences I ever had. And really, it's you go to your dentist, but you feel that you go to a 5-star hotel. So that's my little advertisement for you, because I really think this is from the heart, and this is so true.
Thank you.
And if there's anything that you would like to still say to the people, go on.
Just to add this, what Mike said, I would love to meet all of you, so you are very welcome, and I hope to meet you all personally. Just one last thing I want to say is that in life, problems are going to happen. Problems are going to happen. Small problems, big problems. Life is never going to stop with problems. Unfortunately, that's how it is. But you choose how you want to respond to the problem, okay? So, and choose that in a way with the mentality of, I'm going to fix it. Is there a problem? I'm going to fix it. And do your best. Do your best, because that's going to give you that confidence that you did the best to fix that problem. Okay?
Thank you, Zahra. Thank you so much. Okay. So, this was our Eternal Echo podcast. Subscribe and give us feedback in the comments. And if you would like to go to the Eram Clinic, do this, book an appointment, and I'll put the link of the Eram Clinic in the comments. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.